At the beginning of this current training block where we're prepping for the American Pro 3, we're about 18, 17 weeks out right now. My coach had me do 525 for 3x10, and it absolutely obliterated me. Learning this information, he decided that there is a training pivot that's going to go on in my training, and we're going to fix this not instability but weakness in my squat because I was incapable of actually doing what was programmed, and it was holding me back. Ever since my coach started me a little lower than 525, and he's inched me closer and closer and closer. 3 weeks ago, he had me do 525 3x8, really easy. Next, he said, all right, you're hitting a PR this week, 545 3x8. And then we had a kind of a undulation, a fatigue manipulation going on. We did a 605 3x5 or 3x4 or 5, something like that. And this whole time, I'm telling my coach, hey, I see what you're doing here. You're getting me closer and closer to squatting 605 for sets of 8. His only response was, So, this week, we are squatting 575, a 30-pound PR for a set of 8. Boys, we got our work cut out for us. Boys, the first thing that you need to do in order to the work that we've got cut out for us today is we've got to eat. So we've got the bowl. Yes, it is a dog food bowl. We've got 180 grams of 93.7 beef, 3 eggs, and some ketchup to tie things together, along with a nice cup of coffee. I do make coffee mugs on my Printify store, link in the description. Just not that one, because I'm poor and I can't afford all the samples. Anyways, back to listening to audiobooks throughout my day while I eat this. Now, that first half of breakfast was the proteins and fats, and it's important if you're trying to do something spectacular to have some sort of carbohydrates. Now, yes, this is 6 mini pancakes with chocolate chips in them. I'm supposed to have 2 bagels with 40 grams of honey. This is a plan derived from, or produced by my nutritionist, Brianni Terry. And she has recently told me I can sub out the bagels with something like a pancake, something carb dense, as long as it doesn't have too much fat. So we got the pancakes, and I'm going to eat this. I don't like the honey part. And I mean the bagel part is a little annoying too, because the honey gets in the beard. But there's no syrup or honey on these, so we're doing Gucci. So we are on our post-breakfast buddy walk. That little guy? Yeah, he's a happy guy. And I'm doing a new game with him. And takes a treat. Trying to, buddy, heel. Good boy. Trying to kind of tire out his prey drive so he's less reactive. So let me show you guys what it's like. Buddy, sit. Good boy. Have a treat. Got the treat. Wait. Heel. Hunt. Nope, almost there, bud. You just passed over it. Buddy. There we go. That's a good boy. So, what this does is it kind of gets his prey drive going, and it teaches him what appropriate things it is to react towards. And doing it a bunch of times throughout a walk, so that even when he's on a walk, buddy, sit. That's a good boy. Yep. Oh, good boy. Yep. Because I want him to know that the priority for him while on a walk is listening to me. And yes, I am hands-free with Bud. Got a little waist attached leash going on here, but he's very bad at barking at other dogs. He goes ballistic, jumping around everywhere, and that's mostly his prey drive activating, making him reactive to other dogs and children. Not good. So I keep a treat in my hand and those knuckles, And I've also got his invisible leash because he doesn't respond to his actual leash anymore. And it's just another tool. It's like 2 leashes are better than 1 kind of deal going on there, where it's got a vibrate and a beep function. Buddy, heel. Sit. Heel. So that I have better control of him, because he responds better to the vibration operation than he does to the prong collar. And we've been decreasing the size of the prong collar, and he's still not tearing. And it's the smaller the prong size, the more the dog's going to care. And a lot of working class dogs, which apparently he is one, like German shepherds and stuff like that, is they need really small prongs in order for them to stop zoning in too much and focusing on what they should actually be focusing on, which is their human's commands. So that's, leave it, good boy, leave it, buddy, leave it, good boy, leave it. So he's not reacting to that dog barking at him, he gets a treat. And that's what we're working on, is not reacting to other dogs. And I take him on a 30-45 minute walk every morning, depending on whether or not it's a training day or a rest day. But heel. And it's how it goes. Some days it's a good day, some days it's not. But that's what raising a child is, right? So we've identified that we have an issue when it comes to dopamine, and are requiring a dopamine detox. That requires a strict set of rules, and if you don't write things down, oftentimes it'll feel like you're juggling chainsaws in your brain and you don't know how many chainsaws there are, which is not a good idea. So we journaled, we set out our rules when it comes to consumption of dopamine, which is very heavily linked to my phone, when I'm allowed to use my phone and things like that, as well as some daily habits that I'd like to reintroduce to myself that I was doing before I lost my job and that I want to get back into, because those were definitely good for maintaining a healthy mental health going on there. So we've got a lot of things starting tomorrow. Hopefully we stick to it 100%, leading through December 2nd. So July 2nd through September 2nd. That's 5 months. That's about 150 days. The I forgot the name of the not bureau, but organization that helps people recover from addictions is usually 120 days, 12 weeks. So we're doing somewhere between 12 weeks and 120 days. I think it's like 100 days for internet addiction. So we're not strictly going off the grid of the internet, because, I mean, it's important for growth of the brand and stuff like that, as well as communicating with powerlifting clients, doing a lot of things that I want to do. Being more of a producer than a consumer in that kind of mindset. So we've got our rules and regulations, as well as the boundaries that we are allowed to play around with, not play around with, but that we are to follow while performing this dopamine detox for a good thing. And it's like things like this is why things like 75 hard is a thing, because 75 hard is all about creating a healthier lifestyle, healthier choices, and that was based off of an average for similar things like this. This is just my own personal take on it. I think 75 hard is a little it's not that hard. It's not hard. It's really lowballing, and this will be a little different. It's got different goals than 75 hard. I think I followed. I when I finally found out what 75 hard actually was, because I'd been seeing it on social media so much, I was like, oh, I've been doing this for 3 years straight. Oops. So that's why I personally don't think it's too hard to do 75 hard. But this is a little bit more individual based, centered around myself, and it'll be more difficult for me. It's technically it's creating a plan to overcome some sort of an addiction. Mine happens to be to social media and dopamine mining. So it's also very testy because I'm heavily not reliant, but included in the usage of social media when it comes to promotion of powerlifting meets, brands, things like that. So it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. And I've got a calendar that I was using before I lost my job. Right here. I haven't flipped over to July yet. I need to find a better spot for it, but we got everything in place. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, right, boys? It's a squat day, obviously, but we've got some pre-fatigue work going on there. What is my squat? Oh, it's straight arm lat prayers supersetted with roller coasters, which is a neural connection kind of thing, and then we've got some goblet squat holds. Then we warm up to 575 pounds, where we will be performing a 3x8. Now, all the other days I go to the gym first thing in the morning. So squat days are a little different for me because my coach has yelled at me enough times that I have to go when people are actually present at the gym, so that I can get someone to center me on the bar, because I have a lot of imbalances going on from years and decades, to be honest, of me not being centered on the bar. And we want to have the best possible circumstance for us. We want to train how we compete kind of deal going on here. So we're going to get someone to center us on the bar so that we're not thrown off on meet day when we're actually centered on the bar. And so we're going when people are there. We've got that 3x8 at 575, which will be 30-pound PR. And if it wasn't for 2 weeks ago, it would have been a 50-pound PR. Because our heaviest set of 8 was 525, and that was set at the beginning of this training block. Before that, I don't know, like 405 probably. So we've definitely put on some pretty decent miles onto our quads, knees, and everything associated with squatting. And afterwards, we've just got some accessory work. What accessory work do we have? Oh, we got contralateral split squats, which I'm trying to learn how to properly perform. I'm using 10-pound weights at this point, or 15-pound weights, weight singular, and I'm still not getting the movement correct, and that's a lack of coordination thing going on. So we got to build up that coordination and not be afraid of the movement, which is kind of funny because I'm not afraid of getting under a bar with 1,000 pounds on it and squatting ass to grass and coming back up. But doing contralateral split squats, lunges of any sort, I get a little fearful. So that's kind of weird. And then we've got some weighted sit-ups going on there. Or yeah, they're sit-ups, I guess. I'm on a bench, I got my feet anchored, and I'm going down and up with my abs. That's what we got going on today. But I'm a little nervous today because we're going to the gym later, which means I should have had more food. So after I took Buddy on his walk, I got distracted, ADHD style, where I was like, I need to get a lot done today. But first, I need to eat. And then I came across my living area. My roommate is an absolute slob, has not cleaned up after themselves in 8 years. And so I decided to start cleaning up a little bit. And we've only been living here for about a year and a half, 2 years? 2 years. Yep, 2 years at this point. Almost on the dot. 2 years and 1 month, I think. Anyways, they haven't cleaned up after themselves. I was cleaning up. I was like taking days off from work to clean up after them. And I was like, no. But I'm unemployed right now, trying to make ends meet. And they had my car, so I couldn't do Uber Eats. So I was like, I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to get some work done around cleaning up around the house. And so I did my laundry, and I cleaned up the laundry area so that you could actually see the floor. It was awful. And that took 3 hours. I thought it was going to take 20 minutes. So afterwards, it was like, yeah, it was 3 hours later. I I started my rice, because I've got 2 rice meals throughout the day. And I was going to eat a rice meal. And I was like, I have to go to the gym at 6, and it's 5 now. Dang it, I'm going to miss a meal. So I'm going to the gym with just as many carbs as I usually do if I'm training in the morning, but I did 3 hours worth of cleaning. And I was running into a bit of hypoglycemia at the beginning of this training block, so I'm a little nervous with the amount of volume that we're doing. And but luckily we'll have people there who will be able to help me along if I need it. Which I won't. I've got my carb drank, which is I'm actually out of my carbs, so I keep powdered Gatorade on hand because it's carbs. It's basically powdered carbs. Don't try to fool yourself into thinking it's some sort of sports drink. And I've got about 75 grams worth of carbs in there, along with a strawberry flavor packet from Skittle, as well as 10 grams approximately of creatine to try and get that beneficial little tidbit out of there. So I should be carved up. I just finished eating that 220, I think it was like 226 grams of Captain Crunch Berries, Walmart brand, with 16, probably 17. I finished off the bottle and I measured it, and it was 16 and then some ounces of fat-free Fairlife milk. And then downed that protein shake, took my pre-workout, which is Nectar from Better Through Biology. I'm not going to show you guys doing that because I bled all over the place. So I'm pretty sure YouTube would be like, no, unacceptable. But we're rolling into the gym right now. So, it's absolutely packed. Normally I'd be like, no, I don't like how packed it is. As long as they let me get through my warm-ups in a timely manner, I'll be good to go. So boys, girl, everyone in between, let's get our stuff done. It's time to squat, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, mission accomplished. So today's training day was pretty good, and me depressing the brake in order for me to start my car's engine had my legs feeling a little bit like jelly, and I was like, whoa, I did not expect that. So warming up, we took a different approach to warm-ups today. I've been talking a lot with the 2300 boys, the guys that I'm on. We have the 2300 podcast, started by Shane Haller and I, and we've slowly brought on Fernando Arias and Justin Zottel, and we've been talking a lot recently about warm-ups leading up to like a top set, or like your working sets. And Shane Haller was talking, because Fernando Arias, he takes like, take a step back. Dan Bell takes 2 warm-ups before hitting 1,000 pounds on squats, or at least he did at the Ghost Clash 1 back when I competed with him. And I was like, I don't know how fast I should warm up. I'm just going to do what Dan does. And someone says, absolutely do not do that. He's halfway done with his warm-ups. I was like, he just took like 3 plates. And they were like, exactly, don't do that. Because when you lift heavy, you also have to consider the amount of energy expenditure you've got. So when Fernando Arias is deadlifting like 881 for triples or something, conventional homie in the 308s, he's like, yeah, I take 2 plates, and by plates I mean reds, 2 reds, 4 reds, 6 reds, and then or something like that, where he might skip and do like 2 reds, 5 reds, 7 reds, or something like that, something crazy like that. And we all got to talking, and Shane Haller was talking to me at one point. He mentioned at one of the he got to lift with Fred Hatfield at one point, and he was like, I don't think I'm warmed up yet. And Fred Hatfield took his hand and placed it on Shane's forehead, and he was like, you feel warm enough. So we got to talking about how to approach warm-ups a little differently. And I feel like when you're a newer lifter, you need to take more warm-ups. But as you progress, you almost need to take less warm-ups, because it's been a hot topic with Jesus Oliveras. He's been talking about his warm-ups. He takes like 3, maybe 4 warm-ups before hitting 900 plus in sleeves, which is... So what I did was I took the bar for a set of 10, and then the rest were sets of 8. So I took 1.5 plates, and by plates I mean pound plates. You can probably see that in the video. I've been rambling long enough that it's probably past the time that the videos are going, but what is it? 1.5 plates, so that's a plate and a 25. 3 plates, 4.5 plates, and then I was at 575. And I was like, 575 felt wicked easy. So I feel like I'm on to something with this new warm-up schema that I'm kind of implementing, and I just got to use it more. It is a little bit lazy, but I have this OCD thing where I refuse to have my warm-up weights have less reps than my working weight. So what I have been doing previously is I've just been plating up. So I'll go bar for a set of 10, and then we're doing sets of 8, so I always reduce by 2. So if we're doing we're doing doubles or triples or something, I'd go 10 plate up, 8 plate up, 6 plate up, 4 plate up, stuff like that. But we're doing sets of 8, so 10, and then 1 plate, 8, 2 plate 8, 3 plate 8, and all the way up to whatever I'm doing. And that's a lot of reps going on there. And I feel like I'm making excuses and justifying laziness with this, but every time that except for the most recent time, every time I've squatted 1,000 pounds in competition, I've skipped warm-ups. Like at the Ghost class, my heaviest squat of all time, I skipped a 2-plate warm-up. There have been times where, so I feel like there's merit to this and energy conservation, because your body's not able to process the foods that you've consumed fast enough for you to use it as energy going up. But so set 1 felt really good. I got the pick, and I was like, oh, this feels like 135, and I got all the way through it, and I was barely breathing hard. I was like, wow, this is really good. I even texted my coach. I was like, I really hate how good these are feeling. And I was like, fuck you, but like in a nice way, with good bedside manner. And like we get ice cream sandwiches afterwards, but it's all in an elaborate ruse to make you get fatter. So the next time you ask me if that dress makes your butt look fat, I can say yes, because I've been fattening you up with ice cream sandwiches because I hate you. But fuck you. Yeah. Elaborate. Yes. The mind games of a super heavy. And so set 1, really good. Set 2 didn't feel as good. It was still pretty clean. It was probably, I say still pretty clean, but it was the messiest of all the sets. The last 3 reps were a little tilty, and that's exactly what we're trying to clean up, and we cleaned it up on the 3rd set. But I started to taste my sinus. Like, you know when you've got a sinus infection, you've got post-nasal drip, and you can taste that snot? I could do that. And in between that, after I racked it, and I was waiting for my time to go until I had to go do the next one, one of my ears was popping and the other wouldn't pop. And it was like, it was very disorienting. And I have a lazy eye in this eye. It's not super noticeable. It's not super noticeable, but it's not correctable, which is why I have glasses. I don't like to lift in my glasses, so I don't have my glasses right now, because I get really sweaty, and it really annoys me when they get like foggy and sweaty. So like, so my lazy eye was acting up, and my sinuses, something was going on there. I was like, okay, whatever. At least I'm not going hypoxic or hypoglycemic. Hypoxia is a completely different thing. Wow, this guy's in front of me swerving. It is almost 10 p.m. So I mean, on a Monday night. Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday night. But I was like, okay, whatever. As long as I'm not hypoglycemic. And I was like, I might want a puke bucket after this, because I drank my entire carb drink, which was just Gatorade and flavor packet and creatine. And I was consuming a lot of water, and I'm like, that might come up to bite me in the ass. So I made a joke to the only female in the gym at the time, and she was like, ew. She's my mommy, gym mommy, completely different. I would tap that though, given the opportunity, but she's in a happy, loving marriage with a kid. So third set, the brain shut off. All that was in my head was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, tighten it up, 8. And so I'm going to the gym when there's people there, and just so I can get centered on the bar. Everyone is flabbergasted because I get centered on the bar. I take the pick completely centered, and by the time I'm done squatting, I am no longer centered. And people are like, what is this? What is this sorcery going on here? I do not understand what is going on. So that's the thing that was going on. And so set 3, it was the fatigue accumulated. I will say that the fatigue definitely accumulated, and I had to go outside. I wasn't sure if I was going to puke or not. I did not, but I also needed fresher air so that I could, breathe. And everyone was like, the air outside is not that good. I'm like, but it's better than gym air. The gym air is musk mixed with beef, because there's it's not a restaurant, but it's a place that makes these things called beef chips, where it's like super thinly sliced beef jerky to the point where it's crispy and it gives a crunch like a chip. And they're pretty good, but it's made by the proprietors are of Asian descent. And if you know anything about white people and Asian food is way spicier than the white people can handle a lot of times. So I got the mild beef chips when they first opened up, and boy, was that spicy. That was spicy. I could not handle that. I don't think I finished the bag because it was too spicy. I'm a white boy with IBS. It's too spicy. So and then while I was dying outside, of course the gym crush shows up, and I procrastinate because talking to girls is scary. But we had contralateral split squats, which I'm like, I don't understand what these are. I don't think I'm doing these right. And I even I sent Coach the video that I took of it, because I take a video of all my accessories just to keep myself accountable and make sure that things are going the way that they should, in case I have questions with my coach, or if he asks for video confirmation of the completion of certain accessories and activities. But I sent him the video. I was like, I don't know if I'm doing these right. And he was like, are you getting this stimulus? I was like, kinda. So we're still brainstorming on that, because he wants me to put plates under my feet to extend the range of motion, and I'm not at the point where I'm touching the floor every single rep yet. So it's like those plates are just not going to do anything for me. It's like squatting on a box to increase your depth on squats. It's like, no. Like with your feet on the box. Box squats have a role, but not really. A lot of people, it's not really necessary. And then we finished off with the weighted abs with a 10-pound plate. And the bench that I used this time had it had more of a range of motion, so I could get more stretch out of it. So I actually got a better ab pump this time than I have been getting recently. But I just got home. I got to shut my car off to save gas, and save the planet and all that BS. Get those points with the liberals, boys. I'm kidding. But I'm going to go eat because it's pretty much my bedtime and I haven't eaten yet. I've missed one meal. But I got to eat. And I get one episode of One Piece allowed in the plan that I wrote out today. I get one. Oh, my lights are turning off. I'll see you guys there. Boys, we made a lot of mistakes today. One of which was getting distracted. But we didn't get distracted with things that didn't make things non-productive things. That's the word I was looking for. But that being said, we still got distracted. We missed a meal before the gym. It didn't bite us in the ass because we didn't go hypoglycemic, but we missed a meal. And we're having to learn this new schedule and how to function with it in order to have a higher success rate when performing whatever I need to do. So that being said, I prepped rice before I went to the gym. And my bedtime is 10 p.m. It is almost 10:30. So I bagged my rice. And I've accepted the fact that it would take me way too long to eat and get to bed because I need to wake up tomorrow, do 8 hours of Uber Eats so I can pay my bills. Because my roommate needs my car. So, that being said, we have 100 grams of whey protein in here. That's about as much. I don't know if I get all the protein that I need for the day there. So, insufficient. But we've had 150 plus maybe like 320. I mean, no, we're undershooting. And then we've got 12 pancakes here. Because so the meals I missed were 400 grams of rice, 245 grams of chicken with sauerkraut and mustard, 400 grams of rice, 220 grams of ground beef, and we're actually low on fats, 70 grams of guacamole, and then also 2 bagels with 50 grams of jelly. So we're actually undershooting. We're missing our macros today. We're missing both protein, fat, and carbs. We have under 8 today by a lot. But we're 346, and we're on pace to overshoot. Not really overshoot, but we can be a little, if we combine today and tomorrow, we can be a little looser with our nutrition, just so that we're prepped and fueled for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. So, that being said, this shaker cup is pretty much completely full. So, boys, this is what I mean by learning to open your throat. Is a skill set. Because when you get in sticky situations like this, you've got an entire thicky boy protein shake. Because 105 grams, which is what it measured out to be on my food scale. Because yes, I measure my protein shakes on the food scales. And then I made it with water. Fill up half the protein, the shaker cup. And it's a bigger shaker cup. I think it's 24 ounces, I think. So, open up your throat, boys. It's about to get creamy. It's like Nickelodeon sliming, except it's going down my throat. And it's vanilla flavored protein. champions know how to open their throats so they don't have as bad of days as possible. But anyways, because I'm having to do this, I'm bringing this downstairs so my roommate has to smell these chocolate chip pancakes because it's their fault. I'm having a rush. Oh, also like, comment, subscribe.